Hello and welcome to the Chillicothe Industrial YouTube channel. Now this channel will serve as an extension of my already existing Chillicothe Industrial Instagram account where I document the railroad operations here in Chillicothe, Ohio and the surrounding areas. Now with that being said, this is my first video and I do ask that you guys bear with me because I honestly have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I've never shot Railfan type videos like this, and I'm just trying to figure it out as I go by using what I know about railroad photography and using what I know about these local operations and my hometown of Chillicothe, Ohio. And I just want to create videos that I would enjoy watching, and I want to document this stuff because it's important to me. Today we start our adventure bright and early. It is 7 a.m. sharp as we watch the locals pull out of their home yard and head eastbound with a large cut of cars destined for the paper mill. I chose today of all days to transition from railroad photographer to railroad videographer because I've been putting it off for a while and something interesting happened yesterday that I wanted to document, and I thought that this would be a good test run. Now, yesterday around 3:30 p.m., we saw the arrival of a new to us, GP40-2, number 6097. Now, some of the folks watching this might be wondering what's so special about this locomotive that I had to point out its arrival and that I mentioned that it was a partial inspiration to start making railroad videos. And to be honest, nothing. There is nothing special about this engine at all. It's less about the locomotive and more about the fact that this crew has gone through so many engine changes in such a short time. This year alone, they've been seen using at least 5 different units, which is far more than I've ever seen them swap out in such a short period. I was really hoping we would see more of the GP39-2, a somewhat rare sight around here, but sadly it was only used for a single day. Man, that GP39 sure does sound nice, doesn't it? Anyways, back to the current day. Conductor Chris throws the switch to send the train over towards the old B&O sub, where they will change directions and perform a reverse move into the paper plant caboose first. It is very unusual to see this crew go this way first. Typically, they take outbound cars to the Voss's interchange along Old Route 35, and they pick up a load of inbound cars and then perform this move. I guess the schedule is off due to the fact that the new locomotive came so late in the day yesterday. With as cold and as rainy as it is out today, I'm feeling like I picked a bad time to start this journey. But it's just practice after all, and let's face it, it's only going to get colder and wetter out. Heading to the next spot, I was stopped at the Eastern Avenue crossing on the NS Main, Portsmouth to Columbus, and I got my phone out just in case and was pleasantly surprised to see some foreign power leading the train. As this train passed, I saw the signal for track 2 light up green, and I figured I would wait for that train as well and see what was heading north. I knew I wouldn't be missing any of the CSX locals' moves because they needed permission to cross the diamond that intersects with this very line. I met back with the locals at Lincoln Avenue where I saw them give their final push into the paper mill. I decided to head home after this move because there's no real vantage points to see the operations inside the mill, and my camera and gear were pretty much soaked at this point. After a bit of a break, I decided to head back out and see if the locals had finished their duties at the paper mill. Along the way, I was once again stopped at the NS Main. Unfortunately, though, I wasn't quick enough and only caught the tail end of this auto rack train. When I emerged from Southern Avenue to turn onto Eastern Avenue, I could see that I had definitely missed some action in the CSX yard. I wasn't sure where the locals were, but I did see a long string of grain cars, either being dropped off or picked up. I headed over to the yard to investigate, and when I arrived, I was pleasantly surprised to not only see the loaded covered hoppers from Cargill awaiting departure, but also a new string of unloaded covered hoppers about to be set out on the Cargill sidings. I still hadn't seen the locals, but I figured if I stayed put and filmed these other trains, they'd show up soon enough. I'm definitely happy that I decided to swing back over this way because there were some real gems on that outbound. As I waited and watched the empties being shoved into place, the string seemed never-ending, and I was wondering what power we would see pushing it. As of late, big road power does all the work, setting these right into their sidings and then waiting until it's time to pick up and head out. At the same time, I was still wondering where the locals were. A few moments later, I got my answer. That's right, our new GP40-2 was taking care of business all on its own, taking over for the bigger power that brought these empties in. A somewhat rare sight around here these days. As the day winds down for the locals and the video comes to a close, I'm left here editing this footage and thinking of what a truly good day for rail fanning it was. Despite the cold and the rain, I'm glad that I went out and gave this a try. I saw some new things, saw some old things, and hopefully even made a couple of friends through the video along the way. If you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to subscribe. I'm looking forward to doing another video in the future, and I'd love to see you there when that time comes.